start by saying that I really appreciate the two departments that was just giving us the slides here. But there's one thing I want to ask of this department is that this is the biggest department with the most problematic areas because we are dealing with the poorest of the poor. I want to ask the Minister, the beginning of this 5 years, is that we have a problem with the department, all of the departments, and that is that we are having so many acting people in the department, acting CFO, acting what. The Minister must please update us on a monthly basis. How far are these things? Because last year, the department had shutdowns and picketings outside the offices. They send us emails as the portfolios because they feel that we have the right to ask Minister questions. And people that got positions were not highly qualified enough, and the people that was qualified enough did not get the positions. So I would really ask the Minister, please let us sort that thing out, because as long as we have acting people, no one is taking responsibility for the work that is being done. Because I can shift it because it's not my work, I'm just acting in a position. That is my first question. My second question I want to ask is that I brought it up with the previous Minister. When children turn 18 years old, automatically the grants stop. If it is now for disability, not for disability, for foster care, it stopped because 18 years old you're supposed to be finished with school. A lot of children are not finished with school at 18 years old. And then we still have the problem where I'm having a problem with the church. A child is staying in the church because his foster parents put him out because he doesn't get a grant anymore. And that is the same for children that is getting the SASSA money, that is in high school, that now is in matric year, grade 11 or grade 12. You need to buy toiletries and all these things. But because the grant was stopped, because he's already 18 years old, it is creating a big problem for these children. That is the first thing I want to address also. And then I want to say, it is true what this honourable member was saying, the departments are not talking to each other. And the reason why I'm saying this is that you will get the Department of Health. People have been working for the department for 20 years, but they're on casual basis. Every 3 months they must sign contracts. So the day when they have to retire, I have one lady working at the laundry for 20 years. She's retiring now in October. But she's not going to get a pension because she had never got a contract from the department. So the onus is going to the Department of Social Development that must give her now a pension grant because she's retiring. So the departments must start talking to each other because that is where the problem is lying. The one is duplicating what the other one is doing because there's no communication with one another. And this poor lady that is finishing in October doesn't have a pension. She will have to go stand in the line for SASSA, even though she was working for the Department of Health in the laundry department. Because every 3 months, these ladies, just last Friday, 6 of them contacted me to say, look here, we don't know if you're coming back because our 3 months. But they're working 8 years, 9 years, 10 years already there. The oldest one is a 20 years one. Now, Monday they notified me, we signed the contract. So every 3 months, these ladies must go through the stress of knowing, am I going to get my contract back? If I'm not going to get my contract back. That is very disappointing because you've been working for the department for so many years. Why must I still sign a contract after 3 years? After 8, 9, 10 years. The other thing I would like to discuss is that the Post Bank, I'm going to say this in your face now, Department of SASSA. Last year, January, we had a workshop in Johannesburg. We, the portfolio, warned you about SASSA, about Post Bank. You still went ahead and signed that contract. We were fighting with you in that workshop. And you still, even though you knew that Post Bank was going through a crisis as Post Bank, you still went ahead and signed and still paid all that levies for cash. Like I said, here's 26% you were paying for cash handling fee. Didn't listen to us because you made up your mind you're going to sign the contract with Post Bank. And now you are regretting it because you are saving on all these handling fees. Don't say we didn't say so because we warned you in that workshop in Johannesburg not to go ahead. You still went and go ahead. Sometimes it's good to listen to someone else. Then I want to come to NDA. You know, NDA, I feel very sorry for you. Because if you look at NDA, your 84% of your monies that you get is going to salaries and to employees, whatever you call it. And the 16% you must just see what you're going to do. My question that I want to ask you is that you are saying that you want to eradicate poverty. Yeah? That is your framework, that is what you are standing for. What is the time frame for you to say you're going to eradicate poverty? What is the measurements that you have in place to say that you're going to eradicate poverty? You are saying that you're going to come in with a consultant fee. You're speaking there on consultant fee because you're going to consult, because you need to capacitate your workers as well to come to on par where you want to be. My problem that I have is that you said you're going to have a community-owned enterprises, 66 in the 5 years. That is your measurements. So for 1 year, you're going to have 13.2 per year. You're going to have this own enterprise, community enterprises. How are you going to eradicate poverty if it's going to go by that? And then also the problem that I have is the NDA is having all these things that they want to put in place, but it's almost like a dog, you know, he wants to bite, but he can't bite, he's only barking here and there, you know, and no one is really listening to that dog barking all the time, you know. So it looks like you be given powers, but not given powers at all, you know. It's like, you know, it's something, I don't know how to explain. Maybe if I speak Afrikaans, I will explain myself better. My problem that I have is that your whole budget almost goes to employees. And the others is going to research on how you're going to do things. So when are we going to have a plan to say you're going to eradicate poverty? That is my gripe is how are we going to eradicate poverty? Do you have a timeline? What is based on? And then how are you going to do that? That is my other thing that I would like to know from all of you. I just forgot one thing about SASSA, the EPWP workers that you are having to assist SASSA. It is sometimes creating a big problem because the EPWP are being exploited in a lot of ways, sometimes by political parties, and sometimes these EPWP people are being underpaid, sometimes not get paid for months. If we are saying that we want to eradicate poverty, that we want to make sure that the people that is living under the baseline is going to get a salary. President Ramaphosa came out and said that the basic wage is 3,500. If you look at EPW workers, some of them get 800, some get 1,200 rand, but because they're having a job, no one must talk about it. It is also a way of bashing unions because the unions are the ones that is saying there must be a line for that. Then the last thing I want to ask is that you said that people that defraud the department, especially SASSA, you were outlining how many people went for disciplinary hearings and what. How many of those people that was caught eating the money, especially during the COVID time, how many of them have lost their jobs? And how many of them were just put to another department? Because it's no use you move the person from this one where he was eating the money and you take him into another department. What is he going to do there? He's going to do exactly the same. How many people have lost their jobs and how many people went to jail for this stealing of the money? Because if you steal at the poorest of the poor, that is the biggest crime you can commit against a human being. So what was the department's remedial action on the people that defrauded the department, working for the department, having a job, getting a monthly salary, pension and medical aid, and still defraud the department from their money? Thank you, Chair.